Hey, I'm going to go over a real simple method of composting. I want to try to keep it really basic and just give you the basic principles of compost that you can't mess up. Um, Composting is a way of breaking down food waste into soil you can use in your garden. And we need the help of microbes, of small bacteria to do that. They eat the food waste in combination with a few other things and make soil from it. So the things you need to make compost is food waste from your kitchen. And this is heavy in nitrogen. The other thing is carbon. And carbon is woody debris. It can be wood chips, or you can save leaves in the fall to handle your carbon. It also needs water, just like all living things, and air. Water and air, generally you get enough water here in Tennessee, so that's not a problem. And air so far is not a problem, so that's a good thing. Oxygen. So the main two things you have to be concerned about is food waste, which you probably have already, because doing your compost. But wood chips are a key part. The key part of compost is to add a portion, or else you just have rotting vegetables. Microbes need all four of these things in order to break down the food waste and reproduce and make your soil. So that's the basics. We're going to go over static bin composting. A lot of people turn compost and get really complicated, but this is the simplest, easiest way to do it. So follow me. These are my compost bins. They're a little bit larger than you would have in a city, but same principles. These are just scavenged pallets that I tied together with baling twine. And this is the active one right now. These two are all finished and aging. But this is what I put my food waste in every day. And you can see right now, this is what you want your compost to look like when it's just sitting around on a regular day. There's no food waste on top, and you can't smell it, but there's no smell here right now. But if you dig down, you can see there's rotting or decomposing vegetables and such in there. So you get your food waste and slop, add to your compost. And this is really the smelliest part of the whole process right here, where the food waste is exposed and you can smell it. So you quickly get your wood chips and add it in equal portions, about 50-50 by volume. So I just cover this over, a little bit more there. And that's it. And then keep on adding this food waste in layers like this. You don't have to stir it. And you wait till it gets filled up like this. And then you don't add any more, and you let it age for generally 6 months to a year before you use it on the garden. And that generally breaks it down. If you have enough, the microbes reproduce enough so it gets really hot. And so if I put my hand down in here, it's probably about 130, 140 degrees. But generally in the home composting, where I'm adding food waste from restaurants and stuff here. But generally home composting, it won't get hot. Don't be worried about that. As long as you're feeding it the right stuff, the carbon and the food waste, it'll break down with time, even without the heat. You might have some weed seeds that aren't destroyed by the heat, but you'll have soil and it'll be pathogen free if you wait enough time. So yeah, that's the basic method of what I do every day. You can kind of look at the older bins here. This is the one I just finished. Maybe about a month ago, and you can dig down in here. It's still very hot. You can see there's earthworms in there, or maybe red wigglers, and there's still a lot of food waste, not decomposed. But as long as it's covered over with woody debris, it doesn't smell, and nature's doing its job. So that stuff was about a month ago, and now this bin's been this aging here for about 5 months, I guess. And if you dig down in here, okay, it's cooler. There's hardly any heat. There's no smell, and you can see the worms and stuff in there. But you can see there's a lot of little leaves and stuff and debris. So this still, the microbes are still working, and it'll take a little bit longer to break that down. But once it's, actually I'm going to wait till probably next fall before I add compost to the garden. But when I do that, I'm going to, there's woody stuff like this I want to take out of it. So I take this and I do a quick little sift. So you can come on over here. So once your compost is done, you want to get some of the woody stuff out. I showed you over there. Here's some finished compost, but it has some pieces of wood. So a real simple way to do that is to screen it. And you can build one of these really simple screeners with some wood and put some wire on it to shake it. Add some of your compost. And then shake it back and forth. This screen is kind of fine. I think it's only 1/4 inch or something like that. For bigger batches, for my garden, I use this sifter over here. It's, I think, 1/2 inch sifter. But something like this one for the backyard. And so this is the finished product. Real good stuff. So it's high in nitrogen, and because you use food scraps, it has all the micronutrients you need for really good nutrient-packed food, magnesium and calcium, such things like that. So good stuff, and now it's ready to go put in the garden. A couple other things I'd like to talk about is bin types. Like, obviously, this doesn't. It's probably not the most attractive for a neighborhood. So instead of pallets, you can use other things. You can use something as simple as like some wire, and just put some carbon at the bottom and fill this up, and then use another one. And they also sell compost bins. Some of the most popular are the twirler ones, the ones the barrel that you turn and you put food scraps in. People really like that a lot. It's all contained and it looks attractive. So yeah, that's composting. I think in summary, I'd like to just say the most important thing is adding the right ingredients to your compost bin. The biggest mistake is people just throw food waste in a vessel and don't add anything to it. And if you do that, you're just going to get rotting vegetables. So make sure to add the carbon in equal volumes to the process. And then once you've filled up your vessel, whatever it may be, just let it sit for 6 months to a year before using it. And that'll assure proper breakdown in the soil. So that's it for compost.